Steve Grace here, aka Turkey Bowmaster, getting ready for turkey season again. This year I'm gonna try to take it to another level and hunt the whole season with my recurve. I've killed a lot of turkeys with a recurve, but I've never really dedicated an entire season of hunting Alabama and other states with a recurve. I've killed five before, but I don't think I've ever killed over five in a season. I'm looking to really lay them down and try to get my recurve thing going. And what I'm looking at, working on two things. I'm working on a blind over here. Got my sewing machine out and a lot of material. I'm looking to build a legit run and gun blind for a recurve that will weigh somewhere around in the neighborhood of 11 pounds, and I may scare the heck out of 10 with it. Looking at using all high-tech material, carbon poles, and just got to really put together a real good plan for a lightweight when I'm building that blind. I like using blinds. I like using something that's going to give you total concealment, but it's kind of, with a recurve, it's you got to build such a big blind that they always end up being a little bit on the heavy side. And I like to run and gun for turkeys the same way I did back when I was a kid gun hunting them. And so I've got to have a real light blind. I have built a blind before for a recurve, and it turned out to weigh probably 13, 14 pounds. It's a little bit too heavy to run and gun. It's a good blind to set up on a field, and you know, when you hadn't got to go very far. But for a real far hunt where I'm walking like I did a couple of years ago in Tennessee, 20,000 yards in a half a day. I'd already walked that much. So, you know, walking 12, 15 miles a day, I got to have a lightweight blind. There's another system I'm looking at, and you see it there. I'm looking on building what I call a bow blind. A lot of people say, "Well, I killed a turkey blindless." Well, they didn't. They got a blind on their bow, and that's what I'm looking at. Is some ferns on the bow, and loaded up pretty good. And what I'm looking to do, because I have to hunt in the woods so much, I don't have a lot of field opportunities. Hunting in the woods is different than fields. You can sit on the edge of a field where you're in the shade and the turkey's in the sunlight. You really don't need a blind. But when you're in the woods where his eyes is on equal terms with how you're setting up, he's in the woods and you're in the woods, so he don't get that glare and all that. He will pick you out way quicker than if you're sitting on the edge of a field. So I'm looking at a real solid blind here for my bow. All these ferns, I'm looking for something that will block mostly my right side, where I can draw the bow without him seeing my elbow come around or come back. I'm trying to really work on a good draw where I'm not moving very much, and only thing moving is my arrow. And from his vantage point, my arrow will be just kind of going straight back. So that's not that much movement. So I'm really working on a good slow draw and a system where I can, you know, on the days where I'm just really trekking out there and not sure whether I'm going to get on a bird or not, a lot of those days I'll leave my blind back at the truck. But I still need a system in case I do strike one where I'll be effective. So I'm looking at this fern system on my bow, and of course I'll have my decoys in most places, except when Alabama early season there's decoyless, so I'll be using blinds all the time then. But when I'm in Tennessee and Georgia in that rough country, I'm gonna go blindless some and use that bow blind, decoys, and hopefully I can have a system that will weigh, you know, somewhere around 5 pounds in that system. And that'd be counting decoys and all, maybe less than that, maybe like 4 pounds. Decoys and all, have everything in my backpack ready to go. I think it'll take a little longer to set up because you got to work the blind, get it right in your bow and everything. But all in all, I think these two systems that I'm working on is going to be successful. got a whole season ahead of me to see. But anyway, that's how I'm gonna roll this year, and hopefully I won't make any atrociously hectic shots and just really booger up a turkey or something and make me go back to my compound. But anyway, I still a compound is a feather in your cap over a shotgun any day, especially the TSS that kills them 60 and 70. So I'm gonna do it the hard way, one way or the other. This is it. Turkey Bowmaster has left the building.